Welcome to the Note, I'm Mica. Grumpy Guardians didn't have to wait too long for Bungie to respond to some of their anger over the Destiny 2 beta. After receiving tons of complaints about the game's PvE and PvP balancing, seriously, it totally dominated the front page of their subreddit yesterday. It's all anybody could talk about. Bungie has given fans a slight update about the direction of the game at launch and how it will be different than the beta. According to a new Bungie blog post, the current beta build is months old, and much of people's feedback is in line with some of the changes they've already made, which just validates their decisions. And while they don't outright say it, they did indicate that there is a chance that there will be separate balancing for both PvE and PvP, which is what the majority of players seem to be asking for. So, eyes up, Guardians, maybe you don't have to stay so grumpy after all. And especially don't be grumpy if your pre-order for Destiny 2 is at Best Buy. Gamers around the web are reporting that after they canceled their pre-orders for the game from the retailer, they're being charged $20 for using the beta code, which, well, it sort of makes sense because you don't want people just abusing pre-orders for codes, but it also sucks because what if someone legitimately doesn't like the beta and doesn't want the game anymore? That's what the beta is for. Anyway, if you run into this problem, apparently it can be corrected by contacting Best Buy directly and asking for the money refunded. So just be careful who you pre-order from in the future if you're waiting on a beta or a demo to determine if you want to keep a game. Re-reported on insane Switch lines earlier this week in Japan, and thanks to the Splatoon 2 release, those lines have gotten even crazier. Kotaku reports today from Japan that thousands are lining up across the country in the hopes of getting a Splatoon 2 Switch bundle, which arrived today on launch day in stores. Even though quantities were limited, lines were numbering as high as 1,500 people in urban areas like Tokyo, and even as high as 400 to 500 in smaller suburbs and towns. Just imagine all the cables needed so all of them can have really, really crappy voice chat. Uncharted's massive DLC is officially done. Developer Naughty Dog made the announcement yesterday on Twitter with a nice little gif of the game going into a PS4. They wrote, "We are proud to announce that Uncharted: The Lost Legacy has gone gold. We can't wait to get it into your hands beginning August 22nd. Lost Legacy will be a follow-up to Uncharted 4 starring Chloe Frazer and Nadine Ross, and is expected to provide somewhere around 10 hours or so of new content. And hey, it looks like it's not going to be delayed unlike, you know, the original game's release." Following a leak earlier this week, it looks like we've got the official reveal of Call of Duty World War II's Zombie Mode. Sledgehammer and Activision dropped the finished version of the trailer at Comic-Con, showing off what it looks like to be a totally different tone from the Infinite Warfare's goofier, more campy Zombie Mode. The trailer looks to be firmly rooted in the horror genre, which makes a lot of sense considering the game's producers previously worked on the Dead Space franchise. Prepare for lots of Nazi zombies, lots of killing, and lots of jump scares. Well, it's official, everyone. Crash Bandicoot is unstoppable. We've had word out of the UK, Australia, and New Zealand that Crash was the #1 bestseller in those territories, and now we've got confirmation that was the case around the world as well. Activision announced this week that Crash Bandicoot's Insane Trilogy was the #1 bestseller worldwide for the month of June, at least as far as, you know, physical sales go. No word on what beat the game in the digital department, but that's still pretty impressive considering it launched literally at the end of the month on June 30th. That definitely spells good things for the future of the franchise. Now we're just waiting on word at when they're going to start a new next-gen version. Come on, get to it, Activision. Go make a new HD Bandicoot. We need it. Fire Emblem Heroes has made a whole lot of money since its release in February. According to stats compiled by Deconstructor of Fun, the turn-based strategy game has made $61.5 million from iOS and an additional $53.4 million on Google Play, which is nearly $115 million total. All thanks to microtransactions, where players can spend real money to buy orbs and get some new heroes. Just goes to show microtransactions can bring in the big bucks. We feel especially bad for that one dude on Reddit who spent $1,000 on the game and still doesn't have a Hector. I mean, I feel you. I've been trying so hard to get Swimsuit Robin and no dice. Fire Emblem Heroes has been downloaded 11.7 million times across Android and iOS devices. Everybody's gotta have their husbandos and their waifus. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds hasn't even gotten out of early access yet, and it's already a smash hit. The multiplayer Battle Royale PC game just passed 5 million copies sold according to Steam Spy, and it's only been out since March. Just a few days ago, the game surpassed Grand Theft Auto 5 to achieve the 4th highest peak player count on Steam, with more than 382,000 players. Netflix busted out a trailer yesterday for its $100 million epic fantasy movie known as Bright. It's from Suicide Squad director David Ayer and stars Will Smith as a cop alongside his partner Joel Edgerton, who is an orc and also a cop. Okay, this movie is set in Los Angeles, but in a weird alternate version that includes like fairies and elves and magic and orcs. In this trailer, we see someone discover a wand that can do all sorts of cool magic things, and then all hell breaks loose as they are wont to do. Well, that already sounds better than Suicide Squad, and I'm excited. Bright premieres on Netflix December 22nd. After Justice League and Aquaman hit theaters, what's next for the DC Extended Universe? Well, that would be SHAZAM, which will begin production early next year. SHAZAM, of course, is the superhero who gets his powers after mild-mannered alter ego Billy Batson yells SHAZAM and transforms into a flying muscle man. We know that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has already signed on to play his evil nemesis Black Adam, and The Hollywood Reporter says that David F. Sandberg will direct it. The movie will most likely be released sometime in 2019, and then all we have to deal with is a bunch of people running around yelling SHAZAM. Not looking forward to that. So let's say you're out in public and you want to be as annoying as humanly possible. Well, you know what? Atari's got you covered with something called a Speakerhat. And it's exactly what it sounds like, a baseball cap with Bluetooth and 2 speakers embedded in the brim, so you could be the absolute worst person in any crowd ever. Atari said it was made with musicians, fitness enthusiasts, and gamers in mind, but let's be honest, it's mostly going to be used by really, really inconsiderate people who want everyone to enjoy their shitty taste in music or blast air horns because they're memeing assholes. So thanks, Atari! Glad you quit making video games to do this. This is why you're gone and nobody likes you. Well, that's all the news we have for you today, and for more news from every corner of the internet, remember to like this video and leave comments if you want. Nice ones! Be nice! And if you're new around here, subscribe to the know, why don't ya? SHAZAM, of course, is the superhero who gets his powers after mild-mannered Billy Batson or Bateson? Batson. Just imagine all the cables needed to keep all of them, it into your hands, yep, because that's weird, was the case around the world, so close.